Okay, trying this again. Thanks for bearing with me. Last time it was so easy, and this morning it's just the iPad was not cooperating, so now I'm on the phone. Anyway, hi, good morning. Irma K. Sawyer, Cosmic Weather, Bright Star Consulting. How's everybody doing on this very fabulous Stargate weekend? Today is August 6th, and I've got my bling earrings on with stars because Leo's all about the bling. So I encourage you to bust out your bling this weekend. And I was also saying, oh, good, people are finding me. Good. Thank you for putting up with the technical stuff this morning. Cheers. Got my coffee. Like I said, we'll do a little coffee talk. No big whoop. And speaking of no big whoop, for some people, this Stargate will be another day. It'll be another weekend. But to you, you kind of are picking up on what's going on, and that's why you're here. Starshine folks that are tapped in. So good for you. Let's talk a little bit about this last week. Hello, good morning, everyone. If you're feeling just exhausted, the dream time's been crazy. I know I've been hearing from people, everything from like apocalyptic stuff to the UFOs, which there's something going on about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's a lot going on in the dream time. Yay, coffee, good morning. Another thing, what I'm going to do, because last time everybody had all these questions and it was hard for me to see them and get to them. So I thought what I'd do is I would just share the information that I have in my notes. I like to take notes. And then at that time, I thought I'd open it up for a Q&A, okay, just so I can stay on point. Believe me, I need to stay on point after this last week, really. Like, there's not enough coffee, really, in the world right now. But anyway, I'll have a little more. Okay, so let's talk about what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the 8-8. We have this every year. This is probably my second favorite Stargate, the first being the 11-11, of course. I'm a fan of 11s. I was born on 1/11. This 8-8 Stargate, though, is no joke. It's a real one. Okay, Leo is powerful. Leo likes to roar. I'm reading everybody. Hi, everyone. Oh, I just love to say hi to everybody. Thanks so much for taking time out of your morning to show up. So let's talk, what was I talking about? The 8-8. Okay, double 8 energy. Okay, what does an 8 have to do with? That has to do with manifestation, right? It has to do with power. It has to do with sheer power. So basically, we've got a double 8, right, on Monday. But according to the keepers, and people, thank you for people that verified this. Evelyn verified this for me, that the window kind of opened on July 27th, which is a little early because it's usually the end of the month in July. But there's so much going on that it makes sense. So I'm going to take a look at my notes too, like I said, just so I can stay on point. So bear with me. I have a lot to share with you. Okay, so basically we're talking about the great, sorry if I'm shaking, I'm trying to get the camera right. I'm on a little tripod stand. Hi everybody, thanks for showing up. So this year we're looking at this particular Stargate has a 7 vibration, and I'll tell you why. Because when you take 8, 8, and 2016 and add it together, it's 25. When you reduce 25 down, it's a 7. This makes this particular Stargate very spiritual, right? We've got the 7, lucky 7, 7 chakras. If you want more information on the 7, look that up. There's a lot there. So that makes this particular energy very magical, very, very spiritual and very magical, even more than usual. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Bear with me 1 minute. Gotta find it. Talk amongst yourselves. Be right back. Okay, I normally don't get too political here, and I'm not going to, but I'm picking up on some questions. Some people had some telepathic questions this morning. Yeah, I got them. And I also, the keepers responded to this at the Cosmic Love and Wisdom page. It's important to know with the election cycle that is crazy. I know how crazy it is. Believe me. For empaths and light workers, ground and center, can't stress that enough. Buy some of my clear space spray. That would help. Shungite's awesome. Put it, wear it on your person, put it next to your computer. It's good for EMFs. LOL, I know, right? It's important to know that we're not failing as light workers, okay? That every effort that you're doing, it's important and it does count, okay? And that the tide is turning. It's important also to really to use your intuition, not just about the election, but just about the story, about the narrative that they're trying to sell. Yeah, second the Shungite. It's the empath's friend, definitely. It helps me tremendously. I wear it, when I'm out in the world. Today I have something else on because I had to get blingy for Leo, right? That feels good to get blingy for Leo. The Leos are like, yeah. Okay. Another interesting thing, I got kind of a download when I woke up this morning, and this week let's talk about that again. It's been very strange. I feel like I'm doing a lot of work. In the dream time, I'm not remembering a lot of it. It's been a little odd for me. I definitely don't feel rested. So some people have asked, when is this high cycle going to kind of come down a little bit? And when I first asked about that, I got that it was the 11th. Which is in a few days next week. So, we're in it to win it, folks. Take care of yourself right now. Do what you need to do. An interesting thing I was told about Bernie, for the Bernie people this morning. And my buddy Joe Amadon, hi Joe, if you happen to see this at some point, she does some wonderful work with planetary origin. Lightconnection.org is her site. And I don't think Bernie's on there, but I kind of asked because I do starseed readings, as you know. And I was told that he's Pleiadian, part Pleiadian. We knew that. He's all love. But I also got that he's Lyran, or Lyran, as in from Lyra. And interesting, Lyrans are leonine-like. They're connected to the sign of Leo, which we're in right now. And it's very, very strong energy. So this is why he's an interesting mix of being very loving and very compassionate, which ties into his Virgo. But the man is tough as nails. I mean, he had like 14-hour days and he's 74 years old. I don't know. I couldn't do that, and I'm much younger than that. So I got that little bit of information this morning. I thought that was really interesting. So, just good to remember that, your efforts do matter, okay? They matter. What else? Okay. Yes, weird dreams. People are asking me about that. Let's talk about the physical avatar report of what's going on right now. Yes, there's a lot going on. Okay, I've had like a weird throat thing going on for the entire week, like kind of a, something stuck in there, but I'm definitely not ill, thankfully. So when I asked about that, I go, is this just for me personally, like some karma, some stuff? And because I have to differentiate, because as you know, I certainly have my own stuff, but then I'm also picking up on the collective. I read the physical avatar. This is part of what I do as a cosmic weather girl. So when I asked, I got that this is all, the throat has to do with speaking your truth, right? And since I'm out here doing that anyway, it was like, why am I clearing that? Well, we all have stuff around that. People know, especially folks in my classes, we've had lifetimes where we were not encouraged to speak our truth. Maybe we were even punished for doing that. So it's not uncommon in my intuitive development and Akashic classes where people have stuff going on with the throat. That just kind of makes sense. So I got that this ties in to the 8-8, because talking about the 8-8, it's all about sovereignty. It's all about standing in your truth. It's all, if anything was like the I am, baby, it's the 8-8, okay? So really, it's important for you to have a clear and open throat chakra if you're going to speak your truth in the world, right? Well, thanks everybody for showing up. It's nice to see everyone. Okay, so what else are we doing with the physical avatar? We talked about the sleeping issues. My feet have been really weird and really heavy, and I asked about that. And besides, of course, we need to go ground or earthing, where you go put your feet in the grass. Out here where I live, it's all dirt, so it's kind of challenging. But there's so much internal movement of energy that I'm wondering if people are experiencing this weird feeling with their feet, like their feet are either hurting or feeling kind of heavy or strange. That was something that I was told about as well. I had a weird skin rash when I came back from Arizona. That was like a form of sun poisoning. It was very strange because I live in the desert. It's like I'm in a place where it's hot. Legs too. Yes, thanks for that. I got that it was kind of a combo of me getting more sun than I normally do, and then we're in a period of increased sensitivity. So I was encouraged to share that what cramps in the feet, thank you, whatever you need to do to avoid the triggers, okay? Thanks for that validation, folks. That's great. I'll talk about the hips and the low back in a minute, Beth. Thank you. What was I saying? Got to go back to that. Oh, so whatever your triggers are for sensitivity, if you have certain foods. I've noticed with this weird skin thing that I had that, of course, like the wheat and the sugar and things, of course, that you're craving when we go through one of these things, it's like, give me the comfort food. But it actually, when you're in a Stargate period, when you're in an accelerated energy period, it can trigger these responses because your nervous system is more sensitized. So I know it's tough, because we really, and we do kind of crave, we want the comfort items at that time, but just here to tell you that we want to avoid any kind of triggering of like a histamine or an allergic reaction, okay, because our systems are more sensitized right now, okay. All right, I got that there's a lot of information. I'm going to post it, in fact, when this video is over. It's going to be at Cosmic Weather. Basically, the message, the keepers give an 8-8 message every year. This year was longer than usual. They had a lot to say because there's a lot going on. An 8-8 in a 9-year. Another thing to share, I usually don't go that far ahead because I'm just really kind of dealing with the Cosmic Weather in the moment. But what I was told is some people were already kind of picking up some stuff about next month that maybe might not be great. And it's like, I'm not going to prophesize any doom or anything, but it's a 9. Next month September is a 9 frequency in a 9-year. I see it as we're just going to be wrapping up stuff. Okay, so basically this month in the 8, which is all about manifestation, pay attention. Is what is calling your attention, okay? We don't have to do the shakabuku, which is the cosmic 2x4. We don't have to do that. We're evolving out of learning our lessons that way, right? But one of the ways that we do that is we pay attention to the messages and the signs that the universe is sending us. So August is really going to be about what's up? What needs attention? What's really going on? How can I be authentic and stay in my power and kind of take care of business? But the great thing about August and let's talk about that, double 8 vibration. This is a very rare August because August is always an 8, but we have a double 8. We have 2 8s, crazy 8s, yeah. So again, karmic manifestation. The keepers have said, and you could read that in the message that comes out, that whenever you're in an 8, whenever this 8-8 is happening, it's all about higher creativity. Wow, bumblebees. Wow, that's interesting. They love you, Amanda. Hope they're not stinging you. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm gonna, if you guys have questions, I'd love to hear from you, but let me kind of get this out because I'm a little under-rested, shall we say. Yeah. What was I saying? Back here. About the 8, about the manifestation, about being in your power, highly creative energy. The keepers were saying that there's some grace that comes in with this because when we have this big push of cosmic creative energy, it really favors higher creations that are more in alignment, that are more coming from a place of love and harmony, okay? So basically, because some people get paranoid oh, I've had a horrible day and I lashed out and was a jerk or whatever, and am I going to manifest all this horrible karma? Basically, of course, we're always creating all the time, but we have a little bit of buffer, and this is very important to for the light workers. Okay, to just consciously create this month, in the month of August. Very, very important, okay? Are we going to fall off the wagon? Are we going to have a bad day? Are we going to snap at people? Of course, we're human. We're going to do that. But the point is we need to bring it back. We need to bring it back to center and do whatever you need to do that. I had a message at Cosmic yesterday. It was just a brief little update for the weekend. It was about self-care. self-care is extremely important right now. It's always important, especially for empaths and light workers. But why is it extra important? Because if you're in a highly creative mode, right, with the 88, you don't want to be creating with your cup when you're like on fumes. Right? You don't want to be creating out of that place. That's not a great place to be creating from, right? So you want to be rested, watch your diet, all of that kind of good stuff. Watch your company, watch who's around you. Again, you don't have to attend every pity party or dramatic event that you're invited to, okay? That's good to remember. Okay, some more notes. Okay, so we were given 3 points for the 88. They are in this thing that's going to be, the message that's going to be posted. I don't know why bees are in your face, Amanda. I would go in spirit and try to speak to them and tell them that you love them, but that I've done this with critters in my own house. Sometimes this does work. Kind of go in a shamanic realm and say, thank you for your message, I love you, but it really is not comfortable to have bees in my face. So please get a little, kind of not be so close. You might try communicating with them. Hi, Nikki. If that doesn't work, Amanda, I would recommend connecting with a animal communicator. Okay, that's another option. Okay, back to this. So, what are the 3 teaching points? Yes, and hydrate, very important. Thanks, Avi, for that. So it's all about being selfish. And when I say selfish, we're talking about the higher self, not the lower self. That means paying attention to the higher self, right? Okay, attending to the needs of that. They gave us 3 points on that. This is good. Knowing when you can be of service or when you are being drained and or distracted. And we're talking service to a person, place, or thing, or a cause. That's number 1. Number 2, learning greater control of your energy field, and in turn, this positively impacts your physical health. Okay, that's going on. I've had to do some tweaks this last week, like what is going on with why I feel so weird. I'm pretty tuned into my own energy field and what's going on with it because I have to. So this week was really odd. And another thing is it's not always going to be like this, because thankfully when we have these big like in-breaths and out-breaths cosmically, we do get time to recover from them, thankfully, or we'd all like flip our lid, right? So that's number 2, attending to your energy field and your physical body. You might have to do some different things than you're used to doing, especially from now until this energy kind of calms, which is the 11th, is what I was told, okay? Number 3, becoming the dominant energy. And what they mean, they've used this term before, the keepers. They don't mean domineering, they mean higher frequency, as in the higher up on the cosmic food chain. Becoming the dominant energy as opposed to just kind of going along with the lower vibrating, fear-based status quo. Hi, everybody. What's the empath's best friend? Shungite. Hi, Jenny. That's what that is. Shungite. Okay. So everybody clear? We're in a really powerful period of manifestation this whole month, actually, but especially, oh, thank you, all the little red hearts. That makes me feel so good. Thank you. I just want to make sure I covered everything. Oh, this was good. Let me, reading my crazy writing here. This was something that came through, and yes, Shungite, that's correct. What I saw, this was really interesting, as I was thinking about a situation in my own family of origin. Some people here might know that there's been some estrangement, like a typical light worker situation. There's been scapegoating and estrangement and stuff in my family, but there's, hi Sid. But there's also been some incredible reconciliation and forgiveness. And I wrote this, Healing from Your Family of Origin course, which again, a little side note, the empath course and the Healing from Your Family of Origin course are going to be available again this fall, and I'm going to be offering them myself. Okay? So yay, if anybody's interested in that. You will be able to purchase them directly from me. And there's some very, very good information in that. But they were basically talking about, oh, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, I wanted to wear bling for Leo. About shielding. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute, because of course this especially applies to the empathic folks, the highly sensitive folks. But in a way, it's almost like we need it to a certain degree to navigate the world, but there's a way that it could cost us. And this is interesting, and I want to share this with you. They were saying that if you are holding on to anger and unforgiveness about someone, and I never thought of it this way, it was really, really enlightening, that this can be a way of you protecting yourself from getting into their pain, getting into their own emotional stuff, right? It's like, I'm going to just reject this person because I can't handle what's going on with them. And you know what? This is a reverse way of what people do to empaths and light workers all the time. Empaths and light workers get scapegoated, get rejected all the time because, oh, you're shining too bright. Ugh, I got sunglasses on. I still can't handle you. You just got to go. Right? So that's really, I thought, what was really interesting is that holding on to anger and unforgiveness doesn't benefit anyone. It certainly harms us. Yes, it is true. And that I never thought of it in a way that it was protective, that we were doing it to protect ourselves, really. I mean, you always are to a certain degree, but I saw it on a much deeper level, an empathic level. Again, rejecting people if they have all this drama, they have all this pain. It's more about pain and drama too. But if you've rejected them, then you don't have to participate, right? You don't have to participate. But the new, more adaptive or positively adaptive way, as opposed to maladaptive, which is a word that the keepers use a lot, is to love everybody, forgive everybody, like the great quote I posted from Neem Curly Baba this morning, who's Ram Dass's guru. Serve everyone, love everyone, remember God. Boom. 3 little sentences says it all. Do we have to take shit from people? No, we don't. Do we have to be doormats? No, we don't. That's not what that's saying. You can love people, and to still take care of yourself. I love this great Ram Dass quote. It was, you can kick people out of your life, but you don't need to kick them out of your heart. Hi, Shannon. Yeah, I talked about sleep. Basically, if anybody missed any part of this recording, I'll post it, and then you can watch the replay of it. Okay, thank you. So this is really important. The key thing about the 8/8 and the whole month of August, it's about love versus fear. Big time, big time. And I know we're always, that gets talked about a lot. And people are sending me all these messages. Sorry, I'm live. I'll have to look at those later. Basically, we know that on a high level, love's the only thing there is. But of course, when you're in 3D, we're doing the earth thing, we're doing the human thing. But really right now, and what I said before is that we have a certain amount of protection and grace, whereas all our negative creations are not going to become instantly manifested and like slap us in the face. That's not how it works anyway, right? But basically, what we're looking at as light workers is we have potential through this Stargate and through the whole month is to really do a push for the shift. Let's talk about that for a minute. When I was in Sedona, when was that? Week before last. I didn't plan it to be there during the DNC. That was really interesting. I didn't get much rest there at all. The last 2 days I did. But it's all perfect. Because I was going to the stupa and spinning the prayer wheel like every day for us and for Bernie and the world and everybody. So yeah, it was really intense. The people that were kind of with me on that journey know about that. Yes, I will come back. I was there very briefly. I like to come to Sedona a couple times a year. Anyway, so talking about how we can make the most positive impact. Oh, thank you, Jilly. Yeah, bling. Gotta have some star blinks, really important. It's really about having the most positive impact, right? People that are watching this video, I know you guys all identify as light workers in some way, as empaths, bless you, namaste. You being here is important. You holding space for the collective is important, okay? So that was the main thing I got. Oh, another thing. This last week, I wrote a post about battling boogeymen in your dreams or in your real life. And I know that there's people that are clients of mine that have been dealing with some very heavy things. Blessings to all of you. The 8 really is a karmic manifestation time for a lot of people. That's why it can be difficult. But on the other hand, this is part of your work. Our work as light workers is this love versus fear. Whenever we go up a level, whenever we have a shift in consciousness, there's always like a ripple that goes through. And what gets released in the collective? Fear. Hello, big old dose of it. So it's important to know what belongs to you and what does not. Yes, battling boogeymen, big time. So it's important also to know that everything you're experiencing, especially in your dream time, it might not necessarily be yours and your karma. If for those of you that have relationships, good relationships with guidance, with your own guides, tune in, ask what's going on with this. And again, it also, you don't have to trip too much about it. Is this mine? Is this someone else's? Just violet flame it, baby. Just send it on down the road, right? We don't have to know exactly the who, what, why of everything. Any more suggestions for shifting the scales towards love and letting go of fear? That's a good question. I think what it really boils down to is our thoughts in every moment. Is just going, oh, there's that fear again, breathing it out. Like Ram Dass used to call his neuroses little schmooze, which I love. And I used to see them as kind of like Keebler elves. All right, remember those? However you see it, it's like it's important to know that ultimately, though it seems very real, it isn't. Okay? It is the biggest ploy and play of Maya, of this place, is fear. Fear is not who you are. Love is who you are. So I remember a while ago, the Keepers gave a thing about fear. Let me see if I can pull that out of the old brain here, out of the archives. I think what it was, just to kind of, make it into a mantra, is just to say, I am divine love. That's it, over and over. I am love. I am divine love. As you know, whenever you say I am, whatever follows it helps, makes it more real in creation. Whether it be, I am prosperous, I am healthy, whatever you want to do. But there's something about that I am divine love. Because I remember I went through a period where I was battling some boogeymen. Anybody that's read Aquarian Empath Book 2 knows about that. So sometimes we go through these periods as light warriors where we have to do battle with some things that are difficult. And, there's no way for me to candy coat that and say, oh, to minimize it. It's tough. It just is. Yes. I am divine love. Yes, you are. So, I guess it would be to just bring your consciousness back to the present moment. Being in the now is so, so powerful. It always is, but it really, really is when you're dealing with a fear reaction, when you're dealing with a trigger, okay? It should just go. I remember it was one of these one of these teachers had a great saying, what in this now moment is harming me? And when you say that, you realize that there's nothing. It's in here, right? As Merlin said, it's in a more twisted forest, the forest that's in here, right? So it really is about being conscious of your mind and being conscious of your thoughts. And again, I'm not minimizing it and saying that it's easy, because a lot of times it's not. But another thing to think about, especially, I talk about this in my books and the course that I wrote, it's so, so important as empaths, let's talk about that for a minute, that you do not process the collective. I know I'm a broken record about this. Hi, everybody. There's nothing heroic about processing the fear and the pain in the collective. It does not make it better. It does not make it lighter. It makes you feel worse. It could actually make you sick. Believe me, I know. I had all kinds of illnesses when I was a younger person because I didn't have... Hi, Gannon. I didn't have training in how to do this. This is part of the reason that I went out on the journey and wrote those books and sought some teachers and wanted to figure out just what the F is going on about that. Okay, so it's really, really important to remember that in the Aquarian age, we do not have to process any other people's stuff. That doesn't mean, though, however, that we're not there in service, we're not there in compassion, we're not going to listen and be present and hold space. But again, holding space does not imply taking on pain, and that's important to remember, okay? Okay. All right, I think I can take a little break now, and I'm going to open it up to questions. So I'm reading the feed. If anybody has a question, let's let it rip. And my coffee's cold. So don't be shy. Anybody have a question? We covered a lot already. Talked about the 8-8. Talked about the energy of the last week. Yeah, I know. My coffee's cold too. I know. Well, cheers, Beth. We'll drink our cold coffee. Look, you guys, you're so quiet. Okay. If we cripple ourselves by processing the collective, it inhibits our ability to do the thing that is actually helpful, which is holding space, loving space. Avi, right on. That's absolutely right. Okay, Amanda, well then ask the bees. Wait. Ask the bees. Got to go. You're welcome. Okay, ask the bees what they'd like to communicate with you. How to help an empathic child to cope. I recommend my course, which will be available very soon. I also recommend a copy of the Aquarian Empath Book 1. Both my children see and feel things. How can I support them? Let them know that you believe them, first of all. Another thing about, there's a wonderful woman here named Denise Dryden who has written some work on conscious parenting and also working with indigo children and you know, the rainbows and the crystal children. Please find her on Facebook, Denise Dryden, D-R-Y-D-E-N. She's a friend of mine and she does wonderful work. So I do know some about indigo children. I'm not a parent myself, whereas she is, and she has a lot more, you know, work and experience around parenting, around conscious parenting of some of these awake empathic children that are coming in. Tell people about my empath activation. Yes, I will. Thanks, Terry. I'll mention that in a minute. Hold on. I go between being sure that my work is working. Okay. Maureen, that's really normal. I think that it's just practice. Her question was about doubt and working with spirit and creating. Anna, yes, I am a flower essence practitioner. I have one called Light Shield that I make. Yes, I work with those a lot. And if anybody would like to purchase any of my flower essences, they're on my website, irmakesura.com. I'm actually a certified flower essence practitioner. I've been one for 25 years. Wondering if that includes mindfulness. Yes, absolutely. Art, this August is a very creative month. And I talked a little bit about that before. If you're creative, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Okay? Let me just go back up here and see. How do we maintain our soul self in a workaday world? That's tough. I did it for years. Ground and center, take breaks, walk around the building, work with flower essences, work with crystals. I have some clients, it's so funny. They're like, joke about all the crystals they have like stuck in their bra, which I used to too, and in my purse. Utilize all the tools that are available to you, okay? Okay, Rhea, that's what I recommend. My question is about... Okay, as far as that goes, Jennifer, again, please read my book, Aquarian Empath. Do some detachment exercises. Yeah, I'm going to go back to that. I have an activation, the Empath Shield activation. It's on special this month. And Terry, if you want to go to my wall, she wrote me a beautiful testimonial. Thank you, Terry. In 2003, I got the first part of it, which basically is the shield itself. Yeah, bra crystals, I know. And then the second part of it was the part they call detachment from the collective, which is working with the flower of life, if anybody's familiar with that, in sacred geometry. I work with that. Good morning. I work with that Empath Shield daily. I've worked with it daily since they gave it to me in 2013. It's on special right now. For people that want the part 2, that have already received the part 2, it's just a donation of $22 and up. If you want the whole thing, it's on special for $44 for the entire month of August. So that's a really powerful tool that I'm offering right now that's affordable for empathic folks. That basically what it does is it's not about getting into this fear like it's a big scary world and we have to keep it out, and it's more of the thing like how can I just kind of invigorate and work with my own energy to where I feel safer and I feel more comfortable. And then again, the second part is a greater detachment, so we don't feel like we have to get all the stuff passing through our energy all the time, because we don't. And one of the biggest things that that's a great question, Wing and Lori, and I'll answer that in a minute. That's one of the biggest things that I've seen. When I first started sharing this empath work, there was a lot of resistance where people were like, you know, what do you mean we don't have to like take on everything? And that really is an old paradigm. It's a Piscean age belief, and I think that there's a lot of people here now that are doing this work that we might have done that in the past, but it's not useful. It doesn't match the current energies that are all about personal empowerment and sovereignty. So basically, empaths are here to model empowerment and sovereignty and also hold space. So yes, that doesn't involve processing people's junk through your own space. Seeing images of deceased dead ones, are they reaching out? I would really have to put on my psychic hat to answer that. My initial response would be yes. Something shifted a few months ago. Information seems to come in differently. Have I experienced a difference? Yes, I have. Just more like a speeding up, you know, a little bit. It's coming in faster. Protecting our familiars through all of this. Wow, I've never even thought about protecting our familiars. I'll have to think about that, Kristen. That's a really good question. I won't forget that. I'll take that, you know, within and ask about that. That's not something I really know right off the top of our head. Because my first thing was like, do our familiars need protecting? Do they? I don't know. Do you mean like your familiar, like your cat, your animal familiar? Is that what you're talking about? Like like your, you know, like your cats or dogs or people like that? Hold on. They take on our stuff. Yes, they can. I would work with, do you work with clearing them? Do you do clearing with them? I use, you know, energy work on Penny a lot. Yes. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. For some reason, I was thinking about people in spirit. Our own protection. Yes, I think that's true. I also think that sometimes we do need to clear them. For example, when there's a really heavy week and when I was gone and there was all that turmoil with the DNC, I did do some work with my cat and my dog. But in general, I don't do a lot of clearing work with them unless I'm called to do that. So that's a good question. Thank you. I was just reading an article that claimed that the feeling of wanting to leave the planet, not to be here, is an astral trap. Could you comment on that thought? I don't necessarily think it's an astral trap. I think it's a thought form that's put out there. I think that so many light workers have felt it. It's become very strong. So I guess, yeah, that could be an astral trap or thought form. I've been there, you know, I've certainly been there. I think we all have. I think if somebody is feeling that in your environment, that it's really important to support them through that. But, you know, I think it's important to understand that that's an illusion. You know, like my teacher used to say, no free lunch. I mean, we're here for a reason. And it is hard sometimes. And I think if you get to that place where you don't want to be here, the last time I got there was really with grief, because, you know, I lost my beloved in 2013. I had some pretty rough times around that, you know, being here without him in physical form. And, you know, I just had to get through it. You know, there really wasn't anything anybody can do. I think that feeling is a form of grief and loss. So what got me through that more than anything was people's love, people's caring, just people sending me little messages like, thinking of you today, I love you. That helped me. And again, it was just time. You know, I had to just get some distance from it. You know what I mean? So I think that that's a good question, Deanne. And I think that it's common. I think you got to love people through it. That's a great Stephen Stills expression. Love people through it, you know? Okay. Finding that information, okay, on the familiars. Yeah, okay. So, anything else? Anyone? Any other questions? Okay, let me, a couple of things, exciting things to tell you while you guys are thinking of some questions. Great news, Bright Star Radio, yay, launches in October. I think it's going to be the 12th. We haven't firmed up the date yet. That's going to be fabulous. I'm going to start out doing one show a month, and then I'm going to move and do 2 shows a month. So that's going to be great. I'm going to have my own radio show. Thank you for everybody that's been so supportive of me getting my own show. And so that's going to be happening. What else is happening? What else are we doing? I'm trying to think. And I already talked about, we've got the empath activation on special this month. What else? What else? I think that's it. Okay. Anyone have a wonderful Stargate. Oh, thank you so much. Just to remember, watch your creations. Love versus fear. Vibrate love as much as you can. If you get off the you know, the track, you can get it back on, no problem. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, all the shows will be podcasted. They will be in the archive, so you can listen to them at your convenience. Thank you for that question. Okay, question. What about when people in your life have the desire to leave the planet, but when reaching out there ends up being a lot of energy-sucking vampirism? That's a good question. I think, oh, sorry about that. Lost the connection for a minute. You're welcome. Thank you, Maureen. That's a very good question about people that are going through tough stuff. And I've had to deal with this professionally, that there are some people that really want our help, that really do want to change, and they really want answers or whatever. There's other people that want participants in their pity party or in their drama, and they are, it's a form of vampirism. And in that case, you can physically distance yourself from the person. You can hold space from that for them, but you do not have. There's nothing that says you have to participate in somebody's. Sorry, I'm getting ready to lose the connection here. So anyway, no, we don't have to be participants in people's drama, but we are here to hold space and hold love for them. So anyway, I'm sorry about my connection. I'm losing it. Happy 8/8. Love you all. Cosmic Weather Girl over and out. Bye-bye.